Ryan Little.
Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, me and Josh are still in LA and we're going to do a review on the worst best hire car in the world. That's what's about to happen. So, this is Josh's first ever time driving the Camaro. And we're going to get it on camera. Well, just how it is. Now we're going to go through the car, but I'm going to let Josh get to grips first, because you know, it is a scary time trying to get everything right in one of these, but you can't see anything out of it. It's an awkward car. That's why it's the best and the worst in the world. In the Jeremy Clarkson voice. Hello. Electric seats. Wonderful. That's good, isn't it? Right, we're going up Angel's Crest Highway in LA, which is apparently one of the best highways that you can go on here. I've done most of them in the week that we've had this, but we're going to get on and enjoy this, aren't we? Yeah. It's going to be a nice time. So the first thing that you are saying off camera was how bad the visibility is in this car. The visibility is terrible in American cars. What you're looking at when you're driving this thing is there's a massive pillar there. When you look behind you, there's absolutely bugger all. When the roof is up, oh my god, it's so bad, because the back window is tiny. Now, visibility aside, because I think every American car is sort of like that, it's not too bad to park. It has got a reversing camera, but no parking sensors. This is an RS model, so it's actually a V6. Now, when we actually came out to the car, I genuinely thought it was V8, and then we went down the road and I used, you know, the flappy paddles, and it definitely wasn't a V8. It sounds very V6-y. Now, that mighty V6 engine is actually mated to a 8-speed automatic transmission, which is
very slow.
Very slow. It's not very fast at all. The paddles are very, very delayed. It's not like you're waiting an eternity for them to actually change gear, but you do definitely notice that there is a gap between it happening and, you know, you're actually pressing the button and
it's no PDK.
There's no PDK box whatsoever. Size-wise, for America, it's fine. I think you're getting to grips with the road size and the size of the car.
Roads,
yeah, these are thin roads in comparison to what we've been on. I mean, there was one point I was on a 12-lane highway. That's 12 lanes both ways. No need for that whatsoever, but it was at home there, whereas here it is slightly at home, because I think it does actually drive quite nicely.
Oh, it's a nice cruiser.
Yeah, it's a nice cruiser, which is exactly what you want in America. You do not want like a hardcore car here, or a manual. We've sat in so much traffic. So plus points for the Camaro are automatic, very lazy on the motorway, which makes it very nice. It's very smooth on the motorway. It grabs a high gear quite easy, so it cruises really quietly, which is good. And in these canyon roads, although the size, you do feel it in comparison to UK cars, it isn't like it's outsizing the roads, which is quite nice. I've driven a couple of American cars in the UK and they've been frankly horrendous. The size and stuff just doesn't cope on the UK roads, whereas here it's, even though we're on a thin road, you know, like a highway going up with a single track, it's
still bigger than the UK.
Yeah, it's still bigger than the UK where we are right now. Space-wise, there's more than enough space in here for everyone. It's a 4-seater. This seat goes further back than the driver's seat, which I don't understand. Like, how is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't get that. So your seat is actually all the way back, which is where I had it as well earlier. And I think that's far enough, but if I was any bigger, I'd be a bit worried. Like, my legs were any bigger, I'd be a bit worried. The back seats in my driving position, you have about that much of room, so you're probably not going to get anybody with legs in the back. The boot, I will show you around, guys, in a minute. The boot is big but small, so the entry is tiny, but the baggage space is large. But if you do have a bag in the back that's bigger than, say, a suitcase, you can't put the roof down. The roof intrudes in the boot. It's incredible how much... Oh, we're getting overtaken. It's incredible how much the boot space is compromised with the roof down. But again, we will show you that when we open the boot up. Over 300 we're going to say, because we couldn't actually find the right spec for this car, but
I'm not sure though.
I don't believe it's 300 brake, but I do in a way, because the car is very, very heavy and you can feel the weight in the corners and stuff, and you can feel it when you're accelerating. It does have get up and go, it's just not as much get up as go as you think a 300 brake horsepower car would. And I think the gears are, because there's 8 of them, so short, you find yourself changing gear quite a lot, and then you're waiting for gears to be taken. There's a lot of bikers up here. This is bikers
Central.
Bikers heaven up here. Again, if you're ever going to come to LA, get a convertible for a start, because that is the way forward. And
that makes it the best.
That makes it the best. And come to Angel Crest Highway, because it is amazing. It's actually phenomenal here. What a place. So guys, let's have a quick look around the Camaro. We pulled in to one of the many pull-in bits across Angels Crest Highway. Awesome road. Sunny. Literally awesome. And it's sunny here, so we're going to take a quick look around this car, because there's a couple of features I want to point out, sort of go through specs and stuff. So this is the V6. It's got an 8-speed gearbox for some reason. 300 plus brake horsepower.
Very heavy.
It's a big car though. Chris Harris has the
full fat one.
The full fat one. This is pretty much a base spec one. So most California cars, in my opinion, would come as a base spec with the cloth interior, no heated seats because it's really hot here. You don't need that sort of stuff. Same as the Florida cars. They usually come with cloth seats and all that sort of stuff. But this is a rented one that we've picked up over here. And I do like this version. The aggressive front is really nice. This being an RS model, it is pretty much base spec as well. It says RS at the front. But the aggression on the front end, it's a nice aggressive car. Coming down the side, we had to go for the yellow, because yellow is life. It is a... We didn't get a choice, as that there is that as well. You do have quite a nice stylish look to the fat though. It is a fat car, and you can't really tell until you start looking at sort of arches and stuff. I mean, look at that angle there. Got a good bit of angle. A lot of flat space here as well going on, especially with the roof down. Something to point out, these cars, as I've already said in the video, when the roof's down, it compromises a considerable amount of boot space, which is... I don't think they were designed as convertibles. They weren't designed as convertibles. So, by opening the boot, you can see that our crap's in there, but the roof actually protrudes all the way into there. So it actually, what would you say, it halves the boot space?
Nah, that's like 2/3 of it.
2/3 of the boot space is lost when the roof is down. And boot size of getting in. Open it up to here? Yeah, we put our bags in there, and mine sort of slotted in, but you had to push it around. Yours was having none of it. I had to squish it in. Squish it in and push it in. It's just a very small opening for such a large car. It is very, very confusing to me. Putting the boot down, this one has a little spoiler, very nice. And the back end is cool. You've got a twin exhaust, RS badging. Someone's played bumper cars with it as well, California plate. It is a good looking car though, I must admit. I do really like this shape. Do you like this shape? I do. I really like this shape. No, and you actually do genuinely quite like this, and I appreciate that. Coming into the inside of the car, we have cloth interior in this one, which is what you would want in California. You don't want leather, but yeah, I wouldn't go for this colour. Seats are comfortable. Done about 1,000 miles in this, and it's actually been really nice, isn't it? We haven't been compromised with space inside, but there's only 2 of us. Reality is, I mean, that's our seats at where our desired points are, and you could probably just about get yourself in there if you tried. Yeah, it's good for luggage, but it's a lot of space and not a lot going on. Do you know what I mean? That's the American way though, I feel, with one of these. There is, yeah, that's a size comparison. This part of the car houses basically 2 bags and the roof at the moment. And that's a lot of space for not a lot going on. And that's the bit that confuses me a little bit about this car. Jumping in the driver's side, you have quite a nice looking interior for an American car. I'm going to switch the car on. You do have flappy paddles, which are
they do the sweep.
slow, and it does the sweep. Yeah, it does the sweep when it comes on. You have buttons down here. It has front like that and rear like that. I'd rather they just put more buttons in, if I'm honest, because it does get confusing. A relatively small screen, but it does have Apple CarPlay that won't work with my phone. Assuming my phone's not good enough. I'm not really sure why that exists.
Not allowed.
Also, my Mega Mounts thing that I've used in every single car ever, I have to have my phone upside down because the vents are down here. See that?
You adjust the temperature here.
Yeah, you can. But this is something to point out. You adjust your temperature there, and you fan that side, which is a cool little thing to. I sort of appreciate that.
And then you can close them up.
And you can close them up, and I like that layout. I just wish it was a bit higher up, because again, a lot of space compromised by just having the screen sort of there. Another thing to point out, when you do want to get in here, so say I'm driving along, you have to sort of, it's just you're sort of going like that to actually get in there, and I'm not too sure about that. Cup holders, obviously for your Red Bull, because we are incredibly jet lagged at the moment. And driving mode, so you have a mode button down here, and you have Tour at the top, Sport, Snow and Ice, which this car will never experience ever. So we'll put it in Sport. And the gearbox, as you come in, reverse, neutral, drive, you pop it over, and it doesn't really do a lot, it just holds a gear. To be honest, you never really need to do that, I don't think. Putting it in Sport doesn't really make much of a difference either.
It's just a cruiser, isn't it?
It's just a cruiser at the end of the day. It does that when you leave the keys in as well, it beeps at you. We're gonna get back on the road. I wanna do some driving, give it some beans, show that V6 some canyon roads. Now, another thing to point out is we have seen many cool cars up here. It's just nice to see a variety. Now, how does this feel to drive? That's the next thing. Although the slightly dim-witted gearbox is all right, it's not too bad. You can hold a gear for as long as you want. It will let you limit a bash if needs be. The power is not really enough, I don't think. It runs out of puff incredibly quickly, and so we'll prove a point right now. Coming into this corner, there was a huge gap between me actually pressing the paddle and something actually happening, which is a shame. 8 gears is too much as well. Yeah, I get it's a cruiser. It's not meant to be dragged down canyons and stuff, but there's still canyons, so I'd like to see it, you know, being used in such a way. Now, the steering is actually sort of direct, I think, but it's a new car, so it's still going to have quite a nice steering feel, I would have said. It does put it in perspective how big this thing is when you do turn into a corner, though. It doesn't really shuffle its weight across. It's quite flat when it's cornering, but you do notice size. Like, that's all the way over there. I literally cannot touch that at all. It's so far away, which is just the American way, but it is still very strange, especially when you're enjoying a car like this. Knowing that the mirror is so far away that way dampens your want to hurt it as much. The one thing it does do is it goes like that when it changes gear sometimes. It does a little fart sometimes, which is pretty cool. So that was a long time. That was a long time between actually physically pressing the paddle and something happening in the car. I mean, it's not good because you're like part way through the corner by the time it's changing. Yeah, so you're having to predict that the car won't change down gear in time, basically. It does have a good feel though, but then most new cars do, so it's hard to really, yeah, it's quick considering how big this car is, but in all fairness, considering size, power, I think it's lacking a lot of power. It's lacking feel. It just feels like a new car. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing special about it. It's nothing special about it. The special parts are the roof down, you're in California, you've got, you know, a sizable car. It's the American dream car. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm driving the American dream, bro. Roof's down and we're in the canyons. And those are the bits I sort of appreciate more. That's why it's sort of the worst but the best at the same time, because it's the worst of everything you wouldn't want in your own car. Lack of power, size.
Because it's here, it's alright.
Yeah, but because you're in America and it's a rental, it makes it okay. Because it's still doing quite good MPG. It's still not really been a dampener on us enjoying the car at all. You know, size, petrol bill, anything like that. So if you are going to probably rent one, I think the V6 is actually probably the one to go for. Can you even rent a V8? Can you even rent a V8? Well, my last rental was a Dodge Challenger V8 one, and that was good, but I would have rathered a convertible, and I'm glad I've got a convertible this time because of roads like this. Yeah. That's my summary. My summary is it's very good, but you wouldn't buy one. There you go. You wouldn't buy one because this is not how you would spec it, is it? You need the V8. You'd need the V8. You'd need a nicer colour interior. You'd probably want, if they do a bigger screen, and you'd want to modify it, put exhaust and stuff on it, which we have seen. We've seen ones with, you know, exhaust and stuff, but apart from that, I think it's quite good. There's lots of places to do burnouts here. And there's so many places to do donuts and burnouts. It's like, I can see why people do stuff up here. Yep. Right, we've just pulled over to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Honestly, this has been one of the best experiences ever. With this V6 Camaro base spec thing, we've just been enjoying some of the best roads that LA can offer. I think this has been a really good trip, hasn't it? It's been a good day. I am going to try and shoot tomorrow, but we're flying away to the UK tomorrow. It's a bit boring. It'll be even colder than it is now. Yeah, and it's getting a little bit chilly now. But we're going to leave you with this thought of that car and that view. Look at this view. We'll just go over here as a video ender. What a place this is. And we've got the sunset. And we've got the sunset just over there. If you did like this video and you've liked any of the LA content, give this video a thumbs up for LA and cool cars and cool roads. And me and Josh will see you later on. Goodbye now.